Daytona did not disappoint today. It was back to its normal self. Brennan, the drama in the playoff field is officially built. We're going to get into all of that right now. Welcome back to another video. My name is Cameron Simpson and welcome to a NASCAR race review video. It's our final race review video of the regular season. So let's get this started because in the playoffs we might put some new segments into the show. We might put some new prediction segments in this race review segment because we're going to be getting rid of a few segments. This will be the last time you see a few segments here, and I'm going to tell you the two segments from this show that you will not see in the playoffs, and that counts as winner spotlight, is going to be going away for the postseason. We will not see winner spotlight, but we will also not see road to the playoffs because this is, of course, the last time we'll be able to talk about the playoffs here on this channel. I know this might be coming out a little late on Sunday, maybe early on Monday. I'm not sure yet. It is also a Sunday that we're recording this, so, you know, to get everything edited out properly, who knows when it's going to come out. But let's get into it today. I want to start today's episode off with road to the playoffs. Alright guys, yes, as I said in open, this is the last time we will see road to the playoffs this season. It is going away for the postseason, and we'll be back next year with the final 7 races. But for the last 7 weeks, we have followed the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs closely. We've looked at the bubbles. We made some predictions. And now it is official. We have the top 16 built. The playoffs are built. And we want to talk about that. We want to talk about maybe some of the playoff drama that happened today because we've been really looking at that bubble spot. We were really following to see who would be that last one in. Who was going to be the last one in to come in from Daytona and win it all. And that was Tyler Reddick. Even after, take a look at what his car looked like after this race. Absolutely destroyed the front end. It was absolutely destroyed. But he still was able to put it on the racetrack. His team was determined. They fixed the problem. There was smoke billowing out of the car. It was like smoke coming out for a while. And so much smoke that NASCAR was almost considering black flagging them because what about the fluid they might be putting on the actual racing surface? But there was nothing bad with that. Tyler Reddick, even with that injured car, was able to edge out his teammate in Austin Dillon by only about 10 points because of that. He came in with a 31-point lead. At one point in the race, it was almost a 40-point lead, and that went down to 10 points because of what happened at those final few laps here at Daytona. That just kind of shows you how insane this racetrack is, how crazy it is at Daytona, and what you need to do, and how Tyler Reddick did it. It was amazing. And Austin Dillon was dealing with his own problems throughout this race, some battery issues. I wonder what that is. Of course, Tyler Reddick said this was kind of happening multiple times to them this season, and we've seen that in other races this year. But let's take a look at the actual playoff grid. Who is in the playoffs and where do they stand? The regular season battle did not change. Those 15 extra playoff points are rewarded to the one and only Kyle Larson. So Kyle Larson with 15 extra playoff points. That is big for his team. So look at now, every team will be rewarded 1,000 points. So every team here with 2,000 points. So that gives those 15 extra playoff points, give Kyle Larson a 52 playoff points. So 2,052 points. The 2,000's added on to every playoff driver. But the 52 points there are the actual playoff points that he has. So a pretty big gap on Ryan Blaney, who took to second place with his 3rd win of the season that came today. We're going to talk about that as well. He, with 24 playoff points, is not bad shape either. I assume those two will not get eliminated, but remember, 24 points is not a huge gap. You still need to run well with those 24 points, and winning is really helpful for these guys. Of course, Martin Truex Jr. as well with 24 points, and Kyle Busch with 22 points. So those are your top 4 there. We go to Chase Elliott as well. We know he was locked in on wins. He's in the 5th spot with 21 points. Alex Bowman with 15 playoff points is in the 6th spot. Denny Hamlin, who finished 2nd place. This really helps Denny because he finished 2nd place in the regular season points battle. That means he gets an extra 10 playoff points. So 1st place 15, 2nd place 10, and then 3rd 8, and so on and so forth from there. 8 on down. So, you know, Ryan Blaney got 8. Martin Truex got, actually, I think it was Kyle Busch that got 8 extra playoff points because I think he was in 3rd place there. It is very confusing. We're more on playoff points, though, now. So Denny Hamlin, of course, in that spot as well. That's very good for his team. Having a struggling season, though, not winning yet, they need to pick it up because if they don't, I don't have a good feeling about their playoff chances. William Byron, though, 14 playoff points, right behind Denny Hamlin in the 8th spot. Now we go to the other side of the board, the right side. You don't want to be on the right side. You want to be on the left side. But on the right side, Joey Logano, only 13 playoff points this season. Brad Keselowski was only 8 playoff points. He's in the danger zone here. Kurt Busch tied with him with 8. Christopher Bell, Michael McDowell both only have 5 playoff points for their 1 win this season. It was really the only playoff points they got. Eric Almirola, of course, was only his 1 win, was really the only playoff point he got either. Tyler Reddick, with his stage wins, gave him 3 playoff points. Kevin Harvick, with only 2 stage wins, give him his 2 playoff points. So, who is the bubble drivers when we go into Darlington next week? The bubble drivers are Kevin Harvick, Tyler Reddick, Eric Almirola, and Michael McDowell are all on the bubble. Kevin Harvick is on the bubble ahead of Tyler Reddick. That is behind Tyler. Tyler Reddick's ahead of him. So interesting to watch going into next week of how crazy it may be or what's going to happen. We got to tune in because it's going to be good. All right, quickly, before we get into the other things today, we got to talk about the race. And my one flaw with today's race was the blocking too aggressive? Because this race was doing good. I mean, it was doing really good. Not really big crashes, not really big incidents. It was really doing good. And kind of proven that you do not need a crash fest to make a good NASCAR race. You don't need a ton of wrecks to make a good NASCAR race. You really just need great drafting. With the new rules package and stuff, NASCAR brought the speeds down about 192. 192 is the highest. I saw the speeds when they were showing the speeds. You know, they're showing heart rates as well today, which is very interesting to see. But, you know, when they were showing the speeds, it was 192 was the highest speed we saw. That's significantly down from, not significantly down, but down by 8 when we normally see 201, 202. Sometimes that's almost down by 10. So that is very good there. That NASCAR's goal happened. They wanted to bring the speeds down. They brought them down to 192, but they didn't bring the pushing down. They didn't bring the blocking down. They did not bring drivers' aggressiveness down. And I think the drivers are very aggressive because for some of these drivers, it's win you get in. For some of these drivers, it's I kind of think I have to win. You know, Tyler Reddick thought he kind of may need to win. Austin Dillon at the end of this race, I have to win. Mattia Beto, who caused the crash, he needs to win. Joey Logano was just being overly aggressive in this race. I'm going to say it right now. Blocking, like running the middle lane and waiting for one lane to get a run and blocking. That is just annoying. Eventually, they tried to park him into the outside wall by just moving away from him, but he found his way back. I don't even know. He's good at these super speedways. I give him that. But holy cow, the amount of blocking he does. So where's the ground on blocking? You know, blocking is a big debate when we come to these racetracks. You know, Joey Logano, the same guy that says last at Talladega, these races need to change. They're too dangerous. Blocking is insane. Well, he's the same guy that was blocking like crazy today. Now, that was, as much as I thought it was just pure annoying, the bounce of blocks that Joey Logano was putting on, he was also putting them on in a veteran way. He was putting them on in a way that veterans do and not as a rookie. But you got a rookie out there like Corey LaJoie, and he tries to block, and he almost causes a huge crash. I shouldn't say Corey LaJoie is a rookie. He's been in the series for a very long time. But with Spire Motorsports equipment, it doesn't really work that way. You know, it doesn't really work in the same way with that. So, like, blocking to me is a part of these races, but it got a little bit of annoying. And I thought I had to talk about it here. It definitely got a little bit of annoying when you have a driver just moving in between lines, playing defense, and of course it adds to strategy. But, you know, that was the only thing that I found as a flaw to this race. And I don't even think that's a flaw. I think that's just something that I don't like. I don't like when a driver, and it wasn't just Joey Logano. It was like Kevin Harvick. It was Kyle Busch. It was multiple drivers that are just blocking back and forth. And look, that's a part of these races. I understand that. But to a point, it gets annoying. All right, let's take a look at our finishing results here. Ryan Blaney wins today's race in good momentum in the place. As we said, he's now second place with this win. Second place in the playoff points. Very big job. Very good job for Ryan Blaney. Bubba Wallace finished in second place today. It was interesting in Bubba Wallace's post-race interview today, criticizing Toyota in his interview, saying that Toyota doesn't work well together. I found that very interesting. You know, I quote him on this. He says, "Why do you think the Fords are always in victory lane?" That's because they work well together. That's not the exact quote, but that's exactly kind of what he meant. Bubba Wallace was very vocal about his Toyota teammates. He said that, you know, I'm always told that I don't work well with other people, but, like, someone must have told him he doesn't work well with his teammates, and he said, I'm only told I don't work well with my teammates, but today I felt like I was left to dry. I think Bubba Wallace expected to get help from Kyle Busch in that towards the end of the race near the pit-in cycle. Kyle Busch kind of cut Bubba Wallace off. Bubba was on the way in. Kyle Busch stayed up high, cut Bubba down low, and worked with him there. But, you know, also his Toyota teammates were helping Bubba Wallace out today. And I think Bubba Wallace just had a slow car. He even said it, a sluggish car. And it's leading me to think, is Bubba Wallace a good NASCAR race car driver? You know, is he good? Is he going to be able to keep his ride at 23-11 racing? Now, next year we know he's going to stay, but if he keeps, you know, I know it's the first year, but if next year he has the same performances he's been having this year, this is one of his best finish with 23-11 at a super speedway. Take that with a grain of salt. This is a super speedway. So if he keeps doing this, how long does he keep his job for? Is Bubba Wallace going to be on the outs at 23-11? I don't think so. I think it's just a first-year deal, but it's something to think about. And the fact that he's like really criticizing his Toyota teammates, I'm sure he's going to get talked to about that, especially by some of the veterans. You know, I think it was a shot to Kyle Busch in that instance, where Kyle Busch is a veteran two-time champion, and Bubba Wallace has not won a Cup Series race in his career. So I think you have to understand that, Bubba, you got to just take a breath there. You need to understand that, you know, hey, these guys have a lot more accomplishments than you, and you're kind of calling them out there. So I found that very interesting on that one. Ryan Newman with his top 3. I think this has got to be his best finish of the year. You know, in the beginning of the season, I said I expect Ryan Newman to retire at the end of the year. I still do suspect that. Ryan Preece in 4th today. Tyler Reddick with a top 5. Even after all those issues, that's some of the reason that he's locked into these playoffs. Justin Haley, he seems to run very well at these tracks. I'm going to give him that. He won this race a couple of years ago. Top 10 there. Alex Bowman in 7th. Chase Elliott in 8th. Whoa! B.J. McLeod with a top 10. Wow, I kind of like these races for that. B.J. McLeod, never ever said his name on this show before. I probably have never said his name on the show before, but guess what? B.J. McLeod with a top 10. And Josh Bilicki, we said his name before here as well, but wow, a top 10 for him and his team. You know, good work there. If it wasn't, yeah, just a round of applause for those guys. Rick Ware Racing had a very tough day today, and for talking about B.J. McLeod, but he was able to come through today, so that is very, very good. Eric Jones in the top 15 today. Kurt Busch with a top 15 as well, sitting in 12th. Denny Hamlin, 13th place today. You got, you know, he was in it, but a lot of wrecks happened at the end. So, Eric Almirola in 14th. Kevin Harvick in 15th. Corey LaJoie in 16th today. Was running very well. For his equipment, he was running good, but just didn't really understand how to work the draft in the front, I think. Austin Dillon in 17th. Ross Chastain in 18th. Daniel Suarez caught up in that late race accident in 19th. Kyle Larson as well in 20th. Notable finishers outside of the top 20. The 39th is Michael McDowell, last year's winner Kaz Gralla as well in 35th. Landon Castle was running very well today. I have to tell him that. He was running very well today, but ended up finishing in 36th. A lot of other drivers outside of here, but you know, we're not even going to get into that. Now, I think it's time to jump into the final winner spotlight of the season. And today's winner was Ryan Blaney. Congratulations to Ryan Blaney. A big win today. His 3rd win on the season. Alex Bowman, him, and Kyle Busch, I think, are the only ones that have 3 wins this season. Of course, Kyle Larson has a lot. Oh, Martin Truex Jr. also has 3 wins on the season, I believe. So that's 4 3 winners, as well as Kyle Larson, who has about 5 or 6, maybe 7 wins on the season. So a lot to get into there. And going into the playoffs, this is very good momentum for his team. This is very good momentum for Penske. I mean, Penske's kind of on, most of Penske's on the right side of that playoff board. So you want to be on the left side. So it's important to watch. We'll see what happens on that one. But besides that, you know, it's just racing. We'll see how it all works out there. Let's go ahead and hit the gas or hit the brakes. Today race is going to be one of the easiest races I've ever scored because it was good. And I know there's just not much to talk about. There's no big crash. There's no big event. And some people think, well, that must be a really bad race. But for a super speedway that was side by side the whole entire race, I'm going to tell you right now, this is a hit the gas. But for a super speedway that was so much side by side action, it's a hit the gas. And I'm going to give this one a solid A. Not A+. Not A+. I don't know why it's not an A. Why is it not an A+? I don't really know. I just feel like it's not worthy of the A+. The A+ is sacred, sacred ground. Have we given an A+ out this season? It was probably a stupid A+ if we've given one out this season. But I'm going to give this race an A. A very good race. And going into the playoffs, we have one more Super Speedway, Talladega, which always delivers. That was probably the only other A+ on the year. But Daytona, way better. Than the first race of the first Daytona that only got a C+. We get an A right here, so very good there. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, please consider hitting that like button and please subscribe. I think we're up to like 66 subscribers. That's a really awesome number. We had a little bit of a tick this weekend, so I like to hear that and I like to see that. We're on the road to 80. And we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Well, quick service announcement. Wednesday, we have a NASCAR video coming out, but we also have another big video coming out. It's a premiere at 7 o'clock of the Tom Brady film. So you guys are going to want to go get ready, get watching that. The room of that film opens up tomorrow, so you're going to want to go check all that out. Until then, peace out.